7. Recuperate. The patient recuperated in the hospital after her surgery, slowly regaining her strength. She had to endure a long and painful recovery process, but she was determined to get better.
恢复健康或力量，康复。
Inanimate. The inanimate object lay on the ground, devoid of life. It was a lifeless thing, without purpose or meaning. It was simply there, existing in the world without any sense of awareness or consciousness.
无生命的。
Cogent. The professor's lecture was cogent and well argued, leaving no doubt in my mind that he knew his subject. He presented his ideas clearly and concisely, and he supported his arguments with evidence.
令人信服的，相关的。
Dogged. The detective was dogged in his pursuit of the killer, never giving up until he brought the murderer to justice. He followed every lead, no matter how small, and he never gave up hope.
固执的，任性的。
Punctilious. The punctilious butler served dinner at precisely 7 p.m. every evening, his movements graceful and efficient. He took great pride in his work, and he knew that his attention to detail was appreciated by his employers and their guests.
注意细节的，一丝不苟的。
Douse. The firefighters doused the flames with water from their hoses, their faces grim with determination. The flames roared and crackled, but the firefighters were relentless.
熄灭。
Expediency. The commander made a decision based on expediency, knowing that he had to act quickly and decisively. The situation was dire, and there was no time for second guessing.
应急手段，权宜之计。
Atrophy. The patient's muscles atrophied due to lack of use, becoming weak and flaccid. He had been bedridden for several weeks after a serious illness, and his muscles had begun to deteriorate.
萎缩，衰退。
Scour. The police scoured the crime scene for clues, their eyes darting back and forth as they searched every inch of ground. They knew that the smallest detail could be crucial, and they were determined to leave no stone unturned.
搜查。
Ominous. The ominous clouds overhead warned of a coming storm. The sky was dark and menacing, and the wind was picking up. The air was thick with tension, and everyone could sense that something was about to happen.
胸罩的。
Motley. The motley assembly of protesters included people of all ages, races, and backgrounds. They were united by their shared cause, but they were otherwise a diverse group.
混杂的，富于变化的。
Errant. The errant knight wandered from place to place, seeking adventure. He was a restless soul, always on the lookout for new challenges. He was a true knight errant, dedicated to upholding the values of chivalry and justice.
误入歧途的，犯错误的。
Attenuate. The doctor prescribed a mild pain reliever to attenuate the patient's discomfort, hoping to reduce the intensity of her pain without making her drowsy.
降低数量、力量、价值。
Harrow. The harrowing experience of the war left the soldier with a deep-seated fear of combat. He was haunted by nightmares and flashbacks, and he struggled to adjust to civilian life.
折磨，使苦恼。
Nebulous. The politicians' nebulous promises of a better future did not convince the voters. They were skeptical of his ability to deliver on his campaign promises, and they ultimately voted for his opponent.
模糊的。
Atone. The criminal tried to atone for his sins by helping others. He volunteered at a local soup kitchen and homeless shelter, and he donated to charities that supported the victims of crime.
赎罪，弥补。
Turgid. The turgid prose of the novel made it difficult to read. The author used long, complicated sentences and obscure vocabulary, making it difficult for the reader to follow the story.
浮夸的，过分装饰的。
Oxymoron. The phrase jumbo shrimp is an oxymoron, a contradiction in terms. Shrimp are small crustaceans, and the word jumbo means large. Therefore, it is impossible for shrimp to be both jumbo and shrimp at the same time.
矛盾修饰法。
Sapient. The philosophers debated whether or not dolphins were sapient beings, capable of complex thought and emotion. The debate continues to this day.
聪明的，有洞察力的。
Caterwaul. The cat caterwauled all night long, keeping the neighbors awake. Its high-pitched cries echoed through the neighborhood, disturbing everyone's sleep.
嚎叫。
Crave. I craved a slice of chocolate cake, but I knew I should resist the temptation. I had been trying to lose weight, and I knew that eating a slice of cake would set me back. But the temptation was too strong.
热望
Striate. The artist striated the canvas with her brush, creating a textured and dynamic effect. The striations were not random, they were carefully placed to create a sense of movement and depth in the painting.
加条纹
Restitution. The judge ordered the thief to make restitution to the victim. This meant that the thief had to pay the victim back for the money and property that he had stolen. The restitution was a small comfort to the victim, but it was a step in the right direction.
补偿赔偿
Hanker. I hankered for the simple days of childhood, when everything seemed so much easier. I didn't have to worry about bills, work, or deadlines.
向往渴望
Sluggard. The sluggard snoozed in bed until the sun was high in the sky, missing out on the beautiful morning. While the world outside was bustling with activity, the sluggard remained in their warm and comfortable cocoon, oblivious to the passing of time and the potential for adventure.
懒人
You did great. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs.